Hello, welcome to Winter 2015 at GRCC. My name is Katie Vandermeer, and you're watching this probably because I'm teaching one of your courses, or 2, 3, 4, or 5. I have 9 courses this semester, and I'm making one welcome video for everybody, so I'm going to kind of go through the things that are standard in all of my Blackboard courses. That way, if you're in multiple classes of mine, you only have to watch this once. So, let's start with how Blackboard is set up. All of my Blackboard courses are set up the same way. So right now I'm in my 132 course, but I also teach 116, 235, 233, and 231. That is all this semester. So there's 5 different courses that I teach, with a total of 9 classes this semester, and this is my full-time job, which is a good thing because there's not much time for anything else if you do this much. So this is in Blackboard. I want to walk through the normal layout and how I operate. To begin with, I use the announcements box a lot, so I'll send announcements and emails automatically to you. Make sure that you check your student email frequently. When you're in Blackboard, just go to my Blackboard. Mine will look a little different than yours because you can set it up differently, but in Blackboard you'll have an area where it says My Email up here, or Email, and then in there you can check your student email. Now by default, your email address in GRCC is your student email account, which is your login ID at email.grcc.edu. Make sure you check that. In online courses, I send emails out about 2 times a week, maybe 3. In face-to-face courses, probably about the same. So I'll contact you quite a bit through the announcements and your email. On sending email, I have a link down here called Send Email, and you can use that to send email to me or to your classmates. I think it's available in there as well. And let me just go through what I'm talking about to make sure you don't think you're listening to the wrong class. So this is my 132 course, but I also have 233. Again, they're all set up the same way for the most part, and 116, which is Introduction to Programming, and then this is 231, WAN Theory, all set up the same, and then 235 for Windows Server. Under the Professor link, this is where you can find information about me. Like I said, I am Katie Vandermeer. I have a website and I have some Facebook pages that you can follow if you'd like. This is my contact number. You can text or call me, and then just information about my teaching style and a little bit about me if you're not familiar with me. My email address, kvandermeer@grcc.edu. It's the best way to get a hold of me. One of my goals this semester is to be more responsive with emails, and I usually am pretty good, but you also have my cell phone number, so you can text me and call me if it's an emergency, and I'll get back with you right away. Otherwise, my policy on email will be within 24 hours if it's a normal work day, but typically it'll be quite frequently. I check my email on my phone pretty much every time I pick up my phone, which is almost all the time. See? Phone. Whoops. After that, so after announcements, professor information, syllabus, this is the standard syllabus that you'll see. The due dates are not in here. You'll have a course description, you'll have the grading schedule, attendance policies. For all of my classes, the syllabus is pretty much the same standard except what the course description is. So if you're not sure what course you're in or what you're going to learn, check that out. I do use this method a lot to make videos, so you'll have more course-specific videos that I'll post. In the syllabus, things that I want to talk about briefly. the due dates. We have due dates for every assignment, and I use both a calendar link, and then when I create an assignment, there's a due date on the assignment. So you'll be able to see that very clearly when things are due. In Blackboard, I have it set up so you can still submit assignments past the due date, but it'll mark it as submitted late, and then when I grade it, I'll take points off if it's super late. If it's not super late, I'm generally understanding of it, but you can still submit past the due date. Let me go over to this one. It's more standard. Attendance, I do take attendance via Blackboard. So when you log in, we have a couple new policies here at GRCC. Well, they're not too new. They've been around for a few years. And we have to do attendance verifications. We do this 2 times a semester, and I don't know what the dates are, but this will, I will let you know when I do the confirmations. This will affect your financial aid if you're a financial aid student. If you don't get confirmed, then you won't get your financial aid payments. And we do 2 of them. I don't know when the dates are, and they don't share that until probably around mid-January for this semester. But make sure you attend your courses. These are the guidelines that we follow to confirm. In an online class, you must submit and participate in a week's worth of material, and in a face-to-face class you must show up. So it's normal things. If you've logged in and you've done something, you'll get confirmed. So that's for 2 times. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. Don't cheat. We have college-wide policies you should be aware of. Make sure that you go out to our website, grcc.edu, and check out those policies if you're not aware of them. Things about FERPA, things you should know. The big one that I want to point out is the ADA and students with disabilities. We have a great disability services department here on campus, and if you're not registered with support services and you need some sort of support, whether it's additional testing time or it's a different chair, if you're you have a physical condition that requires different setup or testing or anything, whatever it is, you have to register with disability services, and you or them have to let me know what you need, otherwise I can't accommodate you. I'm happy to accommodate just about, well, any disability or anything that's registered with disability services. Some things take longer to accommodate, but I need to know that. All of my courses should be set up to be read by things like JAWS, and they're pretty much straight HTML, so a lot of the readers that the internet uses or the web browsers uses can read the websites. But again, if you have any disability or any support service that you need, you have to register with Disability Support Services and let me know so I can accommodate you. That's the biggest thing that I want to get across to my students, to you all, that we have so many accommodations here. So we're here to help, but you have to let us know. Technical support, there is a support, an IT department for students. They're not going to help you with your personal computers or how to install software. They will help you if your password is messed up or if you can't get into your email, things like that, and you need your Blackboard stuff reset. Some of my courses do require the use of software, and I'll talk about that briefly. For the most part, I either make a video that'll show you how to install it or give you very detailed instructions on installing it. Tutoring service is another wonderful thing about GRCC. In the ATC, 215 of the ATC, we have an open computer lab, and you can go in there and use the computers, or you can schedule tutoring services with somebody for free. You just set up an appointment with them, and they won't do your homework for you. They won't sit with you for 5 hours as you read a chapter, but they will help you with questions that you have. This is particularly particularly useful for courses, my courses such as 116 in Introduction to Programming. I have a lot of students, it's an intro class, and we do a lot of things in this class that might find tutoring services useful. 132 in Unix, sometimes I'll have some Unix students that will require tutoring services, but primarily my networking students, there's not a lot of tutoring services that will be of help for you, and you typically don't need it. It's just a different ball game between programming and networking. Not that one is easier or harder than the other. It's just it's like math. You know, you have math tutors. That's what I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, we have tutors. So especially for my programming students, make note of the tutoring services that we have available. And if you are struggling, in addition to myself helping you, there's also a great support staff in the ATC. Oh, they also do online tutoring too, so you don't have to go into the college. You can do it online through Blackboard messaging. After the syllabus link, I have a link for software and textbook, and most classes is the same. So here's 233 textbook and software. Some of my classes I have a little bit more. Textbook information, textbook and software, and textbook and software. So all of the courses that I teach have a required text, and some of them also have required software, and the software is either a part of your book or it's something that you have to get through DreamSpark or download. So in whatever course you're in, make sure you get the required textbook and the software that accompanies it or that's required. It'll say. So here for my Linux course, we have a required book. In the bookstore, you can rent the textbook. Online, you can buy the textbook or buy the ebook if you like an online option. There's, this price is the price of a brand new book, but there's a lot of used books and other ways to find cheaper books or rent it for a smaller price. A smaller price, which is best. All of the textbooks are in the bookstore as we speak, so hopefully the bookstore will be open tomorrow and you can go on Monday. We were closed Friday because of snow, but you can go get the book ASAP. So for Linux, let me just go through the courses real quick. I know you're not in all of them, but Linux, we have a textbook and we have software. That software that we'll use, you can either download for free or you can get out of the back of the book for free. For networking, CO233 and CO235, I'll talk about at the same time briefly. There's two pieces of software. There's a required textbook. I'll show you the book. And there's also lab connection software that we use. And in each of these courses that I teach that require lab connections, there's a lab connections info and directions on what to get and the link to it. Oh, I have to change that, but it tells you more specific instructions on how to use lab connections. So for 233 and 235, you need both the textbook and lab connections. Lab connections is a different piece of software. Here's the book for 233. And it's an additional piece of software that you can either get online or you can get in the bookstore. That's the bundle price. The software, I forgot the lab connections. Maybe it's about, I want to say it's the software lab connections is about $60. For 116, Intro to Programming, we have Java Programming. And this textbook is used for 116 and 117. So if you're taking 117, you'll want to keep this book for your next semester. The software that we use is, here's a link right here, Installing Required Software. We use a free software called JGrasp, and I've given you a video on how to install that and how to use it. Super easy and free. In 231, this is WAN Theory software and textbook again. go figure, we are computer information systems students, so we use books and resources. So we're using a Cisco Press book to learn about Cisco routing routers. And in addition to that, I have to add the software in here. We have a new piece of software, which is a network simulator that allows us to do some hands-on networking for Cisco routing. So the book is cheap. It's about 40 bucks, and the software is 80. But you can download the software or get it in the bookstore. In the bookstore, it's 100 bucks. If you download it, it's 80. So that's something you might want to check out. So for every class, make sure you get the book and get the current version, especially if you're pursuing a certification, and then get the software that's required. Now, the other things I want to go through real quick and how they work, they're standard in all my classes, so I'll just look at this one here. Course schedule and due dates. I have, this is still from winter, but I have a list of what we'll do every single day. So here I'm just working on it right now, and it's kind of duplicate, but you can see what we do this week, when it's due, and when the due dates are. Now I do due dates at midnight, but I'll do them on Monday night, Wednesday night, and a Friday night. So it depends what class you're in. So make sure you check the course schedules and due date links to see when things are due. I do take things past their deadline, but you could get a late penalty. I also included the calendar link, and that's helpful to see when things are due. The other link that's good for that is your grades. So when you look at your grades, if you click on grades, and mine, I'm not a student, so I don't have that role, but if you click on this link here that says grades, this is where it'll show you a list of all the assignments, and then the due date will be next to it. You'll have an exclamation point if it's submitted, but I didn't grade it, and then you'll have a dash if you didn't submit it. Make sure that your assignments are submitted so that I can grade them. So the calendar due dates that I use, and then the grades, and again, in every class I teach, it's the same setup. The most important link in all of the courses are your learning modules, and I will go through and I'll have either some of them available, the first few weeks of available. I'm doing that right now for each course, but I probably won't have the entire semester available because I want to make some modifications this year so that our classes are awesome. But the learning modules are where all of your assignments are. So it's the meat of a course. It's like bacon. Everybody loves bacon. Everybody loves learning modules. Trust me. This is where you'll see and learn the things that are required for this course. So I set everything up in a folder. Sometimes, depending on the class, we'll do one learning module a week or one learning module every 2 weeks. It just depends. And in each learning module, I will do things like someone's over my shoulder, quizzes. Well, that one is just the intro week, but I'll do a PowerPoint presentation. Well, I'll throw it out there from the textbook. Things that you should be aware of, quizzes, assignments, lecture videos. Depending on the course, I'll have different things. So every course has learning modules, and every learning module is where you'll see things that you need to do for that week or whatever's on the course schedule and due dates. Grades, again, check that often. I have left open the discussion board option for all of my courses. I don't grade them. I don't check them regularly. I don't have them a required part of the course because it's a lot of work. And not that I don't want to do a lot of work. I do a ton of work, but sometimes the discussion boards, especially in an online environment, can be useful or they can't be useful. But anyway, I don't require them for any of my courses, but I'll leave them there. You can post things there for general use. If you have questions, if you have things that you want to share, just go in there and post something, and if other people are following the discussion board or the thread, they will find that useful. I always have a resources link under discussions. These are things that are specific to that course, additional resources you might need. Some of my websites, and then like this is our Unix resource, our Linux resource page. We have VI and PuTTY links and DistroWatch and just different links in addition to my resources that I have. So check that out. This is how you can contact me, by send email, and again in every course it's the same. I left the tools here if you want to screw around and look in there, just different Blackboard tools. Connectivity and tutoring information, again things like Blackboard instant messaging, which we use for online tutoring, and then the tutor request forms are there. Mobile phone preferences, this is a pretty important link, especially in the winter time when we close campus. You can get alerts sent to you as soon as we close campus, so you won't drive down. Oh, that's another point too. If you're in a face-to-face course, before you come to campus, just check your announcements. If I'm sick or if I'm not going to make it in, I'll post an announcement. FAQs and accessibility. Accessibility goes along the lines of disability support services. So if you have questions or if you want some additional information, then there it is. So that's it. I'm looking forward to a great semester. I hope that you are too, and that you'll do your best to learn. One thing, we have a faculty learning day before every semester, and one thing that stuck in my mind from our learning day on Thursday, other than my trip to urgent care after I slipped and fell, was that learning is messy. And the good thing about that is messes can be cleaned up and organized. So as we are going through this process, I will do my best to present material in an orderly fashion, to teach you the things that you need to learn and to get you excited about learning them. And again, if it's LAN or WAN or server programming or Linux, I love programming. Is one of my favorite things to teach. It's exciting beyond networking, in my opinion, although I do all of the networking curriculum and I love that as well. But no matter what it is that we're learning, just know that you have to be 100% committed. I am 100% committed, and we're in this together. So curiosity comes first. Do what you need to do to drive your own education, and I'm here to support you. So thank you. I will see you soon, and have a great semester. And if you're driving to campus this week, leave early. It'll be busy. Have a good one.